If you've played BDO for any amount of time, you've probably come across that one guy that can just totally outgrind you in every way possible. You might think, it's that pesky class of theirs. Well, it might be, but that doesn't tell you the full story. I'm here to show you all the second biggest clear speed upgrade anyone can make and use immediately. This is Quick Guidance. To some of the veteran players, this may seem obvious, and you're probably thinking you already know everything you need, but trust me, almost all of you suck at applying buffs. Let's start with the buffs that you should be using at every spot regardless of the specifics. The first, most obvious one being church buffs. These buffs apply a nice boost to all stats and can be easily applied all the time with up to a 5-hour duration. You apply these by talking to a priest in any town for a small silver cost and he will grant you the buffs. Here's a list of every church buff NPC in the game and location. The long duration, there is no reason to not have these buffs up at all times. Second to the church buffs are villa buffs. Similar to church buffs, these gives a nice boost to all stats and lasts up to 5 hours. It can be applied straight from your tent or from a villa NPC in Valencia if you don't have one yet. The closest body enhancement is Lohan's Villa and Gahas. And finally, from our big buffs, we have the furniture buffs. While costing a good bit more, they make the world of difference. Install these in any residence or manor and interact with them for a stat increase. My personal go-to is usually the Shadow Lion head. For around 250 mil, you can get yourself 10 uses of 3 hours, that's 30 hours of plus 15, which is very useful for hitting AP caps in monster zones like Quint Hill, X Sanctuary, and even Lower Gyphon. Here are the other useful furniture buffs depending on your needs. Now we need to talk about food buffs. Some of you reach high end and still think it's acceptable to pop a cron meal and forget about your food buff. It's not always best to just be using a simple cron or exquisite cron meal. What a lot of people forget about is that their fairies can automatically rotate food rotations for them, which allows us to get very specific buffs for certain areas or just a better overall food rotation. My favorite food rotation, since I am significantly above the AP cap at the majority of places that I like to grind, is going to be a Kama Silvio meal, Serendia meal, Valencia meal, and King of Jungle, all 120 minutes. And this food rotation provides you with all of the percent damage that an exquisite cron meal provides, as well as the 6% monster DR of a simple cron meal. Fun fact, you can add a spirit essence of earth for this for an extra DR on top of all of it. With this, you'll have the best of both worlds, being tanky and high end while getting more damage after the AP cap of places like Hex. The simple cron meal is still best if you happen to be below the AP cap of any spot. While the elixirs sing a similar note to the food buffs and can provide a large stat increase, these are significantly harder to purchase from the central market and often require some amount of life skilling. If you're a grinder, you don't have time for that, which is why I recommend just activating a draft and a basic perfume. In case you were interested in running elixirs, or any elixir rotation, I'll have that on screen for you to screenshot and pre-order the items. I won't be going over crafting. Otherwise, running yourself a giant draft when above the AP cap, or at spots where you get plenty of back attacks, or a frenzy draft if you're below the AP cap will do you just fine. While saving the Beast and Savage drafts if you want to be extra tanky for a grind spot. Regardless of if you choose Elixir or Draft, you'll want to add a Perfume, the best of which for damage being the Elixir of Deep Sea. However, these are usually fully sold out and don't come often. Next best option is the Perfume Courage, providing plus 20 AP. If you need that extra bit of protection, Calc Elixirs are always on market and make grinding a lot less stressful. And remember, less dodging means more damage. At this point in the guide, you've already gotten an additional 115 AP and 15% extra damage, and are fully set to absolutely shred any spot in the game. However, you can still activate yourself even more AP and attack speed by just pressing Z. Hitting the Z button with 100% BSR charge will activate your Z buff. This is usually anywhere between 20 and 30 AP depending on your class and gives a nice 25% attack speed boost. It is very important to keep this buff up as much as possible, so unlock that BSR bar or make sure you never let it sit at 100% and hit that Z key. The other skill buff is often referred to as your E buff, which you can activate every 3 minutes by pressing Shift E. It's not worth saving this for any specific mob in most spots, as you can get way more money just by using it all the time instead of saving it for that one large tanky elite. With buffs like these, your grind hours are about to get a lot more fun and engaging. If you're concerned about the price of all this, I can promise you the amount this costs per hour is drowned out by just how much more money you'll be making. So take your newfound knowledge and go flex on all your guildmates with your sudden overnight damage increase. If you're not yet at endgame, you'll be there in no time. That's all for now, and next video I'll be going over crystals and artifacts, so stay tuned for that one. Until next time, good luck and happy grinding.